Today we're gonna make shrimp scampi rolls. This is a nice change up on traditional shrimp scampi recipe. I have all the ingredients right here. Let's get into it right now. I always like to go over the ingredients. Let's do that quickly. I have about a little bit more than 1 pound of shrimp. These are U26 to 30. I purchased these at Whole Foods. They're cleaned already, like deveined, but they had the tails on. I removed the tails because we're gonna be putting this in the sandwich. You can save those tails, put them in your freezer when you need to make a stock. These tomatoes are gonna be like a topping for the sandwich, and I think it's gonna make it different and really good. By the way, the inspiration for this recipe comes from a place called DJ's Clam Shack that is local to me here, but there's a few of them in Long Island, and there's a couple in Florida. You know, it's like a twist on a lobster roll that's about half the price. So I was like, you know, it's a really good idea. We've eaten there a few times now, and it's a great place. The food is really good. So I didn't want to just copy the recipe because they just have shrimp scampi on the garlic bread. I think with tomatoes, it's gonna make it maybe a little different, little extra special. This is a standard shrimp scampi recipe. I have a cup of wine, I have a lot of butter. Part of that butter is gonna be used for our garlic bread. Lemon juice, parsley, and garlic. We have a lot of minced garlic. How much garlic? You just use as much as you like. Same thing with the parsley, with the lemon. You're just gonna taste it at the end to get those flavors just right. As far as the bread goes, these are little brioche buns that I think are awesome. Wanted the rolls that they had in the DJ's Clam Shack, but I didn't want to go there and just buy them because I was like, you know what, if I get them, you guys aren't going to be able to find them. First thing we're going to do is cook the tomatoes. I have a non-stick pan. You can use a non-stick pan here. We'll save the other stainless for later, but you can do all this with a non-stick, even the shrimp part. Got the heat about medium. I'm going to put down a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and the tomatoes. So while that's going, you could do the brine for the shrimp. And the brine for the shrimp is simply gonna be a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, just a tiny bit. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And by the way, I have 1 1/4 pounds of shrimp right here, of the U26 to 30 shrimp. And I'm gonna put a pinch of hot red pepper flakes on this as well, or a little bit more than a pinch. Just gonna mix them together. We're gonna let this just sit for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we cook them. If you're tasting baking soda, you're using way too much, okay? Just put this off to the side and just let the tomatoes go for probably gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes for them to release their water and like kind of flatten and burst. Oh yeah, forgot to tell you, just put a little salt on them now. That'll help accelerate the water release. So I'm just putting like 1/4 teaspoon. All right, so it's been about probably 10 minutes. I think these look good now. They're not all completely broken down, but they're broken down enough for me. Just turn the heat off. Okay, you can just set these aside, and that will be our topping for the sandwiches. I just waited a couple minutes and I just cleaned the pan off. You don't really want to take your nonstick pan when it's hot like that and put it right in your sink. It can warp. Or just grab another pan. Grab a cast iron, whatever. We're gonna make the garlic bread right now. That's kind of the next step. You can do this in the oven if you like too. It's easy to do it this way. Now, we have a ton of garlic. Most of this garlic we're gonna use for the scampi itself. 6 tablespoons of butter here. Maybe it's too much. You don't have to use it all for the bread, but basically 1 1/4 pounds of shrimp is gonna make enough for 3, 4, maybe even 5 sandwiches. Especially if you're using little bread like this, it will make maybe even 6 of them. And I'm just gonna put in about that much garlic, so probably like a 1/3 of what we minced up. That should be plenty for making this garlic butter. Keep your heat low. You'd only need it about 3 out of 10. The garlic will burn very quickly because it's minced, so you don't want that to happen. So it's very low right now. I'm not gonna call out the person's name. This person says, someone explain the magic act with the stoves. They only appear when he needs them. Well, the stoves move. You know? All right, I cracked myself up. That might be the funniest comment that I get a lot of good ones. All right, guys, just let it get lightly golden, that's it. Not even to that point. It's pretty much good right now like this. I'm gonna turn off the heat. You could just take this garlic butter, you could put it in a little glass bowl, whatever, and we're just gonna take some of it and we're gonna toast our bread up. Now take a little bit of your butter here. You don't need too much of it. That's why I poured it out to start. So I'm just gonna kind of get it on there. About 4 or 3 out of 10, not a lot here. You don't wanna burn this bread. It's only gonna take a couple minutes. And then we'll do all of our bread this way. The remaining butter, garlic, oil you can save, or we could use it for the next step, but I pretty much have the garlic and everything for the scampi step. Let's talk about today's sponsor, Tipsy Sake. Until recently, my experiences with sake were limited to the warm sake we would often get at the local Japanese restaurant, or the random bottle we'd find at the liquor store to serve when Tara makes her famous miso glazed salmon. But after discovering Tipsy Sake, I've learned that there are so many different types of sake that can be paired with different types of food. Tipsy's mission is to make sake simple by providing a platform for you to explore and discover your favorite brands. With a Tipsy Sake Club membership, you'll receive a curated sake box every 3 months, complete with educational tasting cards to help maximize your sake tasting experience. They also provide virtual tasting videos, a beginner's guide, and unlimited free shipping for regular orders. And now for a limited time, Tipsy Sake is offering 10% off all products with the code SIPANDFEAST, or $30 off your first sake box with the code SIPANDFEAST30. So click the link in the description to start exploring sake today. And a big thanks to Tipsy Sake for sponsoring today's video. Let's take a little peek. It's looking good, it's almost there, okay? If you have like one of those, you know, the big heavy weights for doing a burger or whatnot, you can get a little bit more of a equal, man, I don't know what I'm saying today. Like, it's just not coming out, you know? Okay, that's good. I'm gonna leave it like that. Feel free to put more color on it if you like, but I think that looks perfect. It smells phenomenal. It's an easy way to do garlic bread than having to use your oven, having to wait like 15 minutes. Round 2. These are done as well, and they're gonna burn quickly if you don't get them off. See that? Let's make things easy for ourselves. We got a pan now. It's medium, whatever. Let's just use this pan. It's fine. The recipe, I had more butter, garlic here, but we don't need that. We can just use what we have here. And I'll put that right in there. And then I'm gonna add this much butter. So I don't need to add all of the other butter. I probably don't need all this garlic either, so I'll do that. I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit more. You just want the garlic to get to the point where it's just a tiny bit golden or not even, because it will go from that point to burning very quickly. It's just a touch. It's not even, like I said, not even, but that's enough. So shrimp scampi is different than, so when we did the lemon garlic shrimp, it like seared, dried off the shrimp really well, seared them, got a good sear on them. Same thing with the Cajun shrimp. This is the opposite. You're making your sauce, then you're cooking the shrimp in it, so they absorb the liquid. Traditionally, this is the way it's done. And I'm gonna turn the heat up now. We did everything today with just this one pan instead of using like 19 pans. I like cooking that way, so you're not making a huge mess. All right, we're gonna let this boil for about 3 or 4 minutes. We want it to reduce by about half. Been going for about 2 minutes. I have about medium high. Probably let it go for like 1 more minute. It's reduced by about half. Took about 3, maybe 4 minutes. I'm gonna turn the heat down to medium and we're gonna put the shrimp in. And we're gonna let these shrimp cook until they get pink, and they'll probably take about 3 or 4 minutes. That's the time of the day today, you know? Everything's gonna take 3 to 4 minutes. I'm just gonna spread them out so they get kind of equally cooked. All right, it's been about 2 minutes, just turn them over. That's all you gotta do here. Yeah, you can just shake your pan too, but I'll flip them. These smell so good right now. It's like, it's really, this is one of the easiest ways you can do shrimp, and they always will come out perfect. They will just absorb the flavor right now of that garlic, white wine, and butter. Pretty much done. You can turn the heat even lower here. Normally like for this much shrimp, put in about the juice of 1 lemon, but we'll start with the juice of a half a lemon. And we will put in a good amount of that parsley. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat off. Oh, I just tried one shrimp, so good. The only thing this needs is, it does need some salt, and I'm gonna put on some black pepper. You could use more hot red pepper too. And I'm gonna put on about a half a teaspoon of salt. They're so good, they're so tender, plump, delicious. Let's plate these sandwiches up and get the taste tester down. Let me tell you something. I tried this one. It's amazing.
It looks really good.
All right, this is gonna be messy.
Yeah, I really like lobster rolls, so this is similar, right?
Yeah, and I actually put the top on the bottom on I reversed it. Good luck, okay? Head over the table. There's nothing not messy about this. Let me get you a fork too. Actually, you could use this one for the shrimp and the tomatoes. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it one of the best things you've ever had? Mm-hmm. This amount of shrimp, just 1.25 pounds shrimp, will make like a lot of these sandwiches. Take a breath. I love shrimp scampi with the tomato, so I wanted to put a little bit in there.
Those are good.
Right?
Yeah, good.
Here, you need a napkin. All right, Master Taste Tester, what's the deal here? What's your verdict?
So I was really enjoying myself while I was eating that roll. I love the garlic bread. I love the shrimp. I love the sauce. I love the tomatoes. And honestly, with all of that stuff together, this gets an 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10? Thanks, buddy.
No, I'm not joking.
I appreciate it. He's like, thank you so much.
That's the first thing that's higher than 10 out of 10.
Thank you, buddy.
First 11 out of 10.
Yeah.